Please stand for a pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and those watching. Mayor's report. First off, just want everybody to keep our officer Adam Sullentrup in their prayers. He is still in Colorado. I'm not sure when he's going to be transferred, but he still needs our thoughts and prayers, and would appreciate that. The other thing that I'm sure everybody has seen, that 4th Street, 7th Street, blacktop is down. The airport, I guess, are they finished with the airport? They're pretty close. The airport is done. So your tax dollars are at work. But with that, I just need to vent a little bit. I get these Facebook messages and see these comments from many people that all you do is complain and bitch about not getting it done fast enough. The city crews don't know what they're doing. And I just want to say, I'm very proud of our city employees. We do a budget. We have to stick to that budget. The 7th Street project, they ran into a major problem, so it took a little longer. But these guys that work for the city, and gals, that they're dedicated, and everybody should just be really appreciative of the people that we have. And I just, the comments just really irritate me, because I just don't think people realize what is involved in what goes on in the city through the police department, sewer, and all of it. So I just had to vent a little bit. So anyway, I will turn it over to City Administrator's report.
Okay, so on West 7th Street, they found a second soft spot where they had to dig down an extra 12 inches. So that is still way better than the entire block or two. So we had signed that $125,000 change order if needed. It's only going to be $50,000. So that's looking at the bright side. But yes, those streets look really good. As the mayor said, the airport is completed. So yes, they had, it was supposed to have been done way back in April, but the contractor lost their subcontractor. And so they had to get a backup plan, and so it just got completed. I think they've got some minor things to do back there, like some backfilling and some striping, but I know our airport tenants will be very happy that things are reopened. Maybe you noticed, if you've been to the recycling center, that there is some asphalt poured there, like it's just an asphalt drive. So we had to make an on-the-spot decision. Last week, the crew, Capital Paving, who was out at the airport, they called a rain day, and they had 2 loads of hot mix asphalt. And I don't know a whole lot about the industry, but the way it's explained to me is that when the temperature changes, it can just be a total waste. So they wanted to get rid of that desperately, and Jesse asked them, since West was in town paving our streets, if West could use it, and they said that no, that these mixes are very specific to certain projects, and that West couldn't use it on the streets. So Jesse asks, is like, hey, can we, they're going to give this to us at this huge discount, just to get rid of it, so they don't have to, just dump it. And so for somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000, we got 2 loads of hot mix and poured it over by the recycling center. So created a nice driveway over there and cut down on some of the dust. I'll repeat some of this just for any viewing public. We were talking about the compost site in the budget workshop, and we had a meeting last week, the mayor and Jesse and Todd, myself, and like 5 or 6 local contractors who trim trees and use a compost site. I wanted to talk about and brainstorm some ideas of how we can come to a resolution on it being open to contractors for use as well as for public use. And because the tub grinding fee to turn that into mulch is so expensive, and the sheer volume of debris that they're bringing, because especially of the ash borer disease, the volume is just increasing. So we tossed a whole lot of things around, and at least what we're going to start with, it's an imperfect process, but at least we're going to try. The first thing we're going to try is cameras, of course, signage, and contractors are actually going to have to go to the quarry, get a weigh ticket, and then bring those weigh tickets to City Hall, and we will bill them probably monthly. And so that's the first thing we're going to try. And like I said, the quarry said they have the capability of programming their computer to do an auto weigh. So hopefully it won't delay the contractors for a lengthy amount of time. So we're gonna try that first. So and hopefully September 1, an ordinance will be forthcoming with more details on that before then. So in the near future, the tub grinding is happening on September 19th, and it's going to take 2 or 3 days. So the compost site will essentially be closed for use for those 3 days. So we will send out a Facebook post a couple days in advance, kind of as a reminder to people, and the gate will probably be closed. So that's the 19th, 20th, and probably the 21st. We just had a budget workshop. We'll do the first reading of the 23-24 budget tonight, and the second reading at the next meeting. We are simultaneously working on budget amendments for the 22-23 budget, and those will be coming to you at the next meeting. That is a tradition. We do it twice a year, the budget amendments. And let's see, and I'll just, for anybody out there that cares, I'll too report to them the sales tax report that we just went over, and that is that sales tax year to date is 5% over last year, which is spot on with what our budget estimate was. And right at this point, lodging is dead even with last year, and they still have a month of receipts to still come in for lodging. So I think overall that's pretty good. That's it.
Okay, we have no public comments, correct? We'll move on to ordinances.
All right, the first ordinance on the agenda for tonight, bill number 2023-15 for first reading. An ordinance to approve the execution of a contract renewal agreement with Tri-County Trucking and Excavating, Inc. for solid waste collection and disposal.
Any questions?
So just for some context, we have, and it's in the details here of your ordinance, we have a 6-year, basically a 6-year contract with Tri-County. The first 3 years rate increases are established in that contract. After those 3 years, we have an optional additional 3 years, 1 year at a time, to renew if we want to. And so we just finished the first 3 years. This is the first year of the 3 optional years. And so the increase that they are proposing is 3.35%. And that, of course, has to do with the tipping fees went up during the course of the year, like I think $3 from 54 to 57. And then, of course, you know, gas prices. They're still asking for that gas surcharge. That anything over $3.50 a gallon we get charged extra for. But that was in our contract before as well. So yes, I would recommend doing that.
Do you have a motion to approve?
I move to approve Bill 2023-15.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is bill number 2023-16 for first reading. An ordinance to amend sections 220-190, 220-200, 220-210, 220-220, and 220-205 of the municipal code, and prescribing a schedule of rates for refuse container leases for garbage and refuse collection and for limited service pickup.
So this is an ordinance just establishing that 3.35% increase actually into the fee schedule. So, like for example, the basic residential pickup is increasing, the 3.35% equates to 47 cents a month.
Okay. Any other questions?
The other thing that I would just note is that the only thing that's increasing is the tri-county fee. The city fees are not increasing, just the tri-county fee.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve 2023-16.
Motion is made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Next is bill number 2023-17, an ordinance providing for the budget for the city of Herman, Missouri for fiscal year 2023-2024 and establishing a salary schedule for officers and employees of the city of Herman, Missouri for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Just went over the budget, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve bill number 2023-17 first read.
Motion's been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
And then next for first reading is bill number 2023-18, an ordinance to revise Herman Municipal Code section 710020 sewer service rates.
So we had talked about this during the budget workshops, and I bring this up every year. I think it's been about 4 years now when the Board of Aldermen decided to review these rates annually. And the reason that came about is because an auditor was checking to make sure that we were meeting our bond rate covenant. And that means a bonding company wants to make sure that the city has enough revenue coming in and enough money on hand to pay our bills. So I worked the formula this year, and we needed to create $62,000 more in revenue. So I broke that down like we did last year, and that is $1.25 is going into the base fee. So it's going from $26.75 to $28, and then the rate itself is going from 0.0048 to 0.0052 per gallon, and that should make up our $62,000.
Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve bills 2023-18.
Motion is made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Old business. You have any old business?
Where are we at on those power lines?
They're still there. Same situation, ain't it?
It is.
Trying to get the easement. Any other? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. With respect to the Port Authority, just reporting that I sent some documents back to Mark Grimm, who's the attorney for Montgomery County. He had sent drafts of an ordinance that he hoped that you would pass, and the bylaws or proposed bylaws for this Port Authority, and invited me to mark them up or revise them and send them back to him, and so I did, including an agreement that I was proposing with Montgomery County that says some basic things like that we get at least one appointee and some other basic things, and also proposing an agreement once the Port Authority is formed between Herman and Montgomery and the Port Authority that limits things the Port Authority can come essentially into our backyard or within our city limits and do without our approval by the Board of Aldermen. So I have not heard back from him yet. I think he's been out on vacation, and I don't think Steve has contacted Tricia in the last month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So
At least a month, yeah.
we're, you know,
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right?
yeah, it takes two to dance, you know, so we'll see what his response is when we get it.
Is there any other old business?
Oh, are we still planning on doing some kind of a public workshop to let people know why their utilities are the way they are?
Yeah, I was just talking to Jesse about that today, and he said that he thinks he's got the water and wastewater comparisons. So yes,
Perfect.
I don't have a date for you yet, but
It's okay.
up and coming.
Anyone else? If not, any new business?
One new business I was gonna bring up, and was an article that was in Gaston County Republican. Does the city need to do something on this State Bill 190? It's on the governor's desk, probably gonna get passed, where it's gonna for seniors and the property taxes. I thought I read someplace that municipalities and counties had to pass something for it.
I haven't delved any deeper into that. I don't know, with our situation with the county collecting our taxes, we'll have to look into that some more. Yeah.
That's all I have.
Anybody else? If not, we will move on to motions. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
I move to approve the May 22nd, 2023 minutes.
Motion is made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Invoices for payment, they didn't get paid last month, did they? Oh, no, he,
Oh.
no.
Hope somebody paid them last month, but I move we pay them this month.
I have a motion to pay the bills, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Approve the legal service agreement with David P. Polite.
Yeah, so that in your packets is a request by me, if you would consider increasing my hourly rate from $160 an hour to $180 an hour. A $10 or $20 an hour increase is something that I've requested and has been granted every few years since I started. And it's been a few years. Also, the rates that I charge all the other clients for wills or trusts or estate administration or other type real estate, well, any kind of other work, is now $360 an hour. And so, in talking to the partners, we agreed that as much as I like working for Herman, I should at least get half the hourly rate that I get working for other folks. So, that I would just kindly ask you to consider that.
All right. Discussion? Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
Quick claim deed, Bo Gogat Enterprises LLC, 426 West 6th Street, lots 72, 74, 76, on West 6th Street of the original town of Herman. This is just one of them things we do, right?
Clearing up the chain of title. Yeah.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I move to approve the quitclaim deed.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Quick claim deed for Michael and Gazelle Mueller, 118 East 8th Street, lots 4 and 6 on East 8th Street of the original town of Herman. Same situation, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve their quitclaim deed also.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Hire Nancy Courtney as a full-time dispatcher.
Move to approve.
Motion's made to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. July 2022 liquor license renewals. Fancy Pheasant Evergreen at 209 Schiller Street, Herman. Amoco BP at 500 Market Street. Calvis Distributing at 11177 Highway 100 West. The Bank Bar and Bistro at 115 Schiller Street. Old Vine Kitchen Emporium at 210 Schiller Street. Seek Coffee Company at 219 East First Street. Zydeco at, I think that's Zydeco, at 112 East Fifth Street. Family Dollar at 513 Market Street. Do we have a motion to approve the liquor license renewals?
I move to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Caterers permit for the Old Vine Herman Harvest Festival at the Amphitheater, September 30th, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve that?
I will move to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Picnic liquor license, St. George Parish and School Dinner and Auction at 128 West 4th Street, September 9th, 2023. Do you have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Conditional use permit renewals for the following locations to have outdoor liquor consumption: Beth Ostler Bar Bin at 114 East 4th Street, Hannah James Fancy Pheasant and Evergreen at 209 Schiller Street. Then motion to approve.
I move to approve both conditional use permits.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Conditional use permit renewal for owner unoccupied guest house Valerie Wright, Right Place Rentals at 215 East 5th Street.
If I may add to that, Ms. Wright did, the sheet you guys were given had a couple of blank spaces because her appointment was after the agenda had been released and invited made, but she has since met those requirements.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve?
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
We have no reports. We need to go into closed session.
I move that we go into closed session for the purpose of dealing with matters relating to legal actions, cause of action, litigation, or privileged communications between the city's representatives and its attorneys, section 610.0211, and matters relating to the leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate, section 610.0212, revised statutes of Missouri.
Motion to have second, go in closed.
Second.
Motion made, all in favor, aye?
Do we
Aye.
do
Roll call vote.
roll call?
Oh, roll call that.
Yeah.
Been a while. Roll call.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye, aye, aye.
Keep me on my toes.
Are you